Well, a few years ago, I said that every good Southerner has at least one good tornado story, and I told three that day, but turns out I have two other ones that I wanted to share. One of which happened not long after the motorcycle tornado story. Wife at the time and I had, it was our anniversary or something like that. We went to New Orleans for the weekend and thought it'd be cool to rent a convertible, something like that. So we rent yet another Mustang convertible, similar to the one that got in the sandstorm in that story. This one's bright green, again, pretty color. We take it down to New Orleans, and again, there's got to be a picture of me somewhere at Budget Rental Car with a line through it, because I always get the damage waiver. Drive the car around New Orleans, and parking in New Orleans, if you've been there, it's kind of full contact parking. You know, it got a couple of dings in it from somebody doing a U-turn or whatever. And then at one point we'd parked it across from our bed and breakfast, and like at the end of a row of cars. So it must have been a Saturday night maybe. And I come out in the morning, and somebody in like a Crown Vic, I guess, had come in the night, and like, I guess they wanted to park on the street too. So they just started like nudging the Mustang until the Mustang had like hit the car in front of it, and then nudged those two cars, and they basically just created an end spot. And I come out, and like the nose of the Mustang is like under the car in the front, and the back balance is like on the nose of the Crown Vic, and it's just sort of wedged in there. And I was not going anywhere, and we were going to walk around town that day anyway, so it was just kind of like, gonna get some beignets. So we go have our day, and by the time we get back, of course, the Crown Vic's gone, and the other car's gone, and the Mustang's back, and everybody just sorted it out. Of course, wife at the time was a very rule-following type person, so she's, we're going to get in trouble, you need to call police, whatever. I was like, well, okay, get a police report just for the rental place, but, again, like, no, there's nobody around to charge with this, so, we can't really necessarily say that the Crown Vic did it either. Somebody could have hit them, so we do get a police report, then we go get beignets, and that took a while. I mean, police reports, the cop came out and wrote a thing up, but whatever. So she's all convinced that the car's going to get in trouble. So we're going to get in trouble for the car being damaged. So we just proceed to go have a big time. This was actually the same trip, if you remember the animated airboat story. This is that trip to New Orleans. So we take the rental Mustang out, have the big day out on the airboat. I love that story with the animation. That was so much fun. So same trip. So now we're heading home. Car's scratched up. It's kind of dinged up. Got the damage waiver. Got the police report. But this is obviously going to be some conversation. We are somewhere in like that, coming from New Orleans back to Atlanta, you kind of cut across like, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama. And we were somewhere, I think, either southern Alabama or southern Mississippi. I don't quite remember. But it starts raining. And like raining, toad strangler, turd floater, what do you want to call it? It is biblical. Rain keeps stacking up. And this little Mustang, the windshield wipers are just not keeping up. We can't see anything. This is those kind of rainstorms where like there's no exits anywhere. You're just out on the highway. People are turning their hazard lights on. Some people are pulling over, but then there's still trucks blowing through at 70 miles an hour. Wife at the time is like, we should pull over. I was like, well, we should not pull over because, we're going to get creamed by one of these trucks or something. Like, we should at least keep going to get off the road somewhere. And eventually, like, traffic just kind of comes to a stop. Like, we're in like a traffic jam on the highway. There's just nowhere to go. It is raining so hard. I can't see the front of the car. I can't see the car in front of me. Like, we were just stuck. It's raining. It's so loud. Of course, with the convertible top, it's kind of hitting. It makes a lot of noise. And like as it just gets louder and louder, like something's like the rain's starting to kind of swish swash and all that, and all of a sudden it was like they say, like it sounds like a train. Like it sounded like a freaking train coming down the highway. Like it was just rumbling and loud, and like the wind starts pushing down the car, and it caved the top in like on us. Like it like bent the bows in, like it smushed the top in, like water kind of comes in over the window, like it's just like, and just just noise and water and stuff everywhere. And just, it's not like in the car, but it's just like, it feels like somebody's hands like smushing the top of this car down. We're freaking out, but what do you do? We're in the car. Just say a prayer, hold your hand, hope it works. That passes, I kind of, push the top back out again. And it wasn't like it totaled it. It was just enough to force the bows in. So I bent those back out enough, and it's still raining pretty hard, but traffic starts moving. I kind of drive around the car in front of me like, we got to get out of here. So about a mile up, there's another exit. Get off on the exit, and like there's still storms everywhere. Like we just need to get off the road. We're going in a building after this thing happens. So I just pull into the portico, this little like a hotel, like I don't know, Holiday Inn Express, something like that. Pull in the portico. We get out, dash inside to ask if we can like hang out in the hotel. There's nobody in the hotel. Like there's nobody at the desk. Like looking around, and I'm like, hello, and I hear somebody way in the back, like, come back here. So like I go back, like all the employees at the hotel are like huddled like in the back in the interior. They're like, get in here, there's a tornado outside. I was like, it just went over the top of us. So we hang out another 20 minutes, and of course it had already kind of passed by at that point. And so get out and just get back in the car, and wife at the time is again convinced we're going to jail because This is in probably the spring, and I guess it had been like the previous summer that the Sandstorm Mustang had happened, where all the ground effects and all that happened. So like, I don't have a good track record with rental Mustangs at this point. She's like, you were definitely going to jail this time. You totaled 2 Mustangs this year. And I was like, it's not my fault. Like, again, act of God. Maybe God hates Mustangs. I don't know. It's not my fault. But, as it says, get the damage waiver. Just, hey, had some bad luck with the Mustang. Here's the police report, tornado, etc. Damage waiver, sorry. And that was the end of it. And I have not rented a convertible Mustang since. I think it's a curse. I'm just staying away. So that was a pretty wild tornado experience. Not like the full like Wizard of Oz tunnel cloud. It may have been a microburst, whatever. But there was a tornado on the ground. It was enough to push the roof in on a Mustang. So I'm going to score that one as a tornado encounter. The other one was not quite as dramatic, but from a cast of characters standpoint, it was fairly interesting. I had a friend where I lived in Athens, Georgia, and he and I were just kind of Southern guys. We like guns and cars and stuff like that, and the Dukes of Hazzard. And we had some friends from England who were into the Dukes of Hazzard and that kind of stuff. Lady friends from England, but not like our lady friends. Like everybody's married to separate people completely platonically, but they flew over here to go to Dukes Fest, which was down at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, which was awesome. So we were all friends he and I were both worked for one of their companies doing graphic work, that kind of stuff. So we all knew each other that way. So they fly over. We all get in their rental car, but I'm driving since I know the roads better, and they're not used to driving on this side of the road because they're English. So the 4 of us go down to Dukes Fest, and it's awesome. And then this is 20 years ago. Let's see, Sorrel Book and Denver Powell had just passed away, but James Best, who played Roscoe, he was still around. John Snyder and Tom Wopat were there, I think. Catherine Bach was there, Daisy Duke, very exciting. My camera zoom wasn't quite good enough to really get a good picture of her, but I was excited just to be at the same racetrack as Daisy Duke. Ben Jones was there, he played Cooter, and then I think they dug up Coy or Vance or one of the scabs from that one season where there was contract negotiation problems, but nobody wanted to talk to him. That's just not really true. Brian Cherry, he's a really nice guy. But anyway, so we go to Dukes Fest. It's awesome. They have like the last original General Lee stunt car that was in like an original usable shape. And they had it there, and we did like sort of Roman Gladiator thing. They had a big ramp, and they were like, okay, this is the last car. It was the last original, not the number 1 car that my friend Travis restored, but the last like stunt car that was sort of the throwaway car. Do we jump it, or do we put it in a museum? So it was like, like museum or jump it. So like 50,000 people are like, jump it, destroy it. So sure enough, stuntman gets in it. They make a lap around the track, hit the ramp, the car flies. It was one of those like moments as a kid growing up watching the Dukes of Hazzard where it was just like, it's real. It was like seeing like those movies where they see Santa Claus flying through the sky. It was just this General Lee going past me in the sky, engine singing, 30 feet in the air. Of course, it hits and just, as all of them did, just destroys the car. The axle came out of the car. It just obliterated it. But I got to see, the real General Lee. English friends are going crazy. My friends are going crazy. The whole crowd's going crazy. It's awesome. Sunny day. It's beautiful. So we have a big old time. We get back in the car to go back home. And I'm driving again. And that beautiful day, that otherwise perfect day of beautiful weather, all my favorite TV show casts as a kid, seeing the car fly, all that. Now the clouds are forming. Getting a little dark, getting a little windy. We're almost back home. And again, it's that same rain, just like that car wash. Have you ever been in like the automatic car wash where like you just can't see anything outside of the car? It's just like that. It's just this rain, it's wind, and we're in some little rental car, I don't remember what it is, just like whipping around. And like, again, they're from England. They don't really recognize this kind of weather pattern. But my buddy and I, both growing up in Georgia, like, I don't want to say anything to freak them out, but I kind of look over at him and he looks over at me. Like, we're both thinking the same thing. Like, it's getting like that weird yellow sky. Like, we've seen this before. So he says something kind of clever. He's like, I think we ought to, maybe pull off the road, give the car a break for a minute. And I was like, I think that's a pretty good plan. Of course, in the back, they're like, this weather's getting pretty rough. Does it do this a lot? It's like, it'll be okay. We don't want to freak them out. So we're just out in the country, though. There's not like a, parking deck or anything like that to pull into. We're just sort of out in the middle of nowhere. It's getting worse and worse. And then like top a hill, and all of a sudden it was just like that wall of water, deafening sound. Like I can't see it. It's going on now. So I see a driveway that kind of goes like down, like sort of down off the road. So I'm just going to go down to low ground. So I just turn off the road. We just go down into like the trees, sort of like a wooded driveway. We just go down to this low spot and just throw the car in park, like, check the seat belts. Like, okay, maybe the trees will at least sort of buffer the wind or debris or whatever. And same thing, it went like right down the highway behind us. I mean, just car wash the car with, limbs and sticks and, dents and pine needles and mud and all that kind of stuff. Didn't go like over the top of us, but we were like close enough to this tornado that we were getting the debris flying around and it was tearing stuff out of the trees. Just plasters the rental car with just mud and sticks and junk. And of course the car's rocking and rolling and we're just sort of like, there's nothing you can do. You just sit there and just hang on. And sure enough, it wasn't really like a close call, like the car didn't move or get dragged around or anything crazy like that. But again, it was just one of those like, how did I go from like awesome day at Duke's Fest with my friends watching General Lee fly to now I'm going to be the one flying through the sky in some English rental car in the middle of Georgia somewhere. Dodged that one fortunately, and again, as always, it passes by and the sun comes out and it's all clear again. And they were just sort of like, wow, you get some pretty serious storms here. And we're like, yeah, if you never experienced a tornado, that you just met one. So I feel like from a cultural ambassador standpoint, from the South, my friend and I did a very good job. We had some visitors from England. We showed them the Dukes of Hazzard and tornadoes, and those are really the most exciting parts of living in the South back in the day. So I think we did a good job. We should get a job with the tourism board.
I'm at the Lars Anderson Auto Museum, home of America's oldest car collection, and they are holding a sweepstakes where one of you is going to win this Porsche 992. You can enter at the link in the description below and you will have an amazing car, but much more importantly, you'll be helping keep America's car culture alive. The Lars Anderson Auto Museum is the hub of New England car culture, and that is why every week here on the grounds, there's something amazing happening. So if you're in the Boston area, come say hey, and either way, enter to win this thing because it's awesome.